the first thing I wanted to ask Barry was, because in my age category, tell me, Barry, why we get so hot and sweaty, if you know the answer to that, while we're sleeping, and how can you avoid that with your mattress? Like, what should you look for?
Well, thank you, Deborah, for inviting me. And that's a great first question. So is there a clear-cut answer? Yes, there is. All right. Why do people get hot and sweaty on a mattress? And why, when you walk into a mattress store, are they talking about all these cooling gels that they're adding? They're adding all these chemicals called cooling gels that will make the mattress cool down. So why is the mattress making you hot and sweaty? What's going on? And the answer is that on most mattresses, and in particular for memory foam mattresses, you are sleeping on a whole bunch of petroleum. All right. A typical queen size mattress will be at least 20 gallons of petroleum. And some people will call it 20 gallons of gasoline. All right. That's what they're using to make the mattress.
And that's completely legal.
Oh, totally legal. Totally legal. I mean, we'll get to that if you wish, but almost everything is legal. I mean, you'll be shocked when you find out about the 85,000 chemicals that are running around, of which virtually all of them have never even been tested for toxicity. You know, and legal, illegal. There's a couple small things they do just to you know, make you feel like they're doing something, but it's nonsense. Anyways, let's talk about the heat. So, for example, you're wearing clothing. It's more likely to be a cotton, like a cotton shirt or undershirt. You're not going to wear a polyester undershirt. Why? Because polyester undershirt is petroleum, and petroleum does not breathe. Okay, cotton breathes. Natural fibers breathe. So if you have a cotton undershirt, you'll feel comfortable. If you had a polyester undershirt, you're not going to feel so comfortable. You're going to get hot and sweaty. It's the same thing with your mattress. If you're sleeping for 8 hours on a pile of petroleum, you know, maybe with a polyester cover, same thing. Of course, you're going to get hot and sweaty. I mean, everybody's different, of course. Some people more and some people less. But that's what's causing the problem. If you want to solve the problem, the first thing you do is recognize that we have petroleum everywhere. Walk through the door of your house and look around, you know, and ask yourself how much is natural, how much of my home is just synthetic, made from petroleum, and you'll be shocked. So we have to stop with the petroleum, and that includes the mattress. Stop.
So the average mattress has the cooling, but do all mattresses have the petroleum in them, the cooling gels in the mattress itself? Is that part of the mattress, or is that just like an add-on and like?
It's an add-on.
Yeah.
It's in the mattress. It's an add-on. Are most mattresses made from petroleum? The answer is yes. Most mattresses are made from petroleum, one way or another.
Which is why you sweat on the mattress.
Which is why you sweat, and which is why they're adding the cooling gels to make you feel like they're doing something special. If you didn't use petroleum to begin with, you wouldn't need the cooling gels. You'd be comfortable, you know. And if you made the mattress the way we make a mattress, you're going to be comfortable. You're not going to have these issues.
So the key is to buy a mattress that doesn't contain petroleum, but then you would now have the options of there's latex, there's foam. You know, you're hearing a lot about foam mattresses, for example. Tons about foam mattresses.
When you say foam mattress, let me stop you. When you say foam mattress, what kind of foam are you referring to?
Just foam, like they're selling memory foam mattresses.
Well, that's polyurethane foam.
Yeah. So that's polyurethane foam.
Yeah. So there are many kinds of foam, but most of the time, I just wanted to make that clear. Most of the time when people say foam, they mean polyurethane foam. That's what it is. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Polyurethane foam is just a pile of chemicals. Polyurethane foam is a bunch of petroleum with a pile of chemicals added to turn it into a foam. So it's petroleum that's been turned into a foam with a lot of chemicals, and the chemicals do all kinds of things. One of them, for example, is flame retardancy. Polyurethane foam is one of the most flammable materials on the planet Earth, and the industry, it's quite cheap, so that's why they use it. But the industry knows it's highly flammable, so they add flame retardant chemicals one way or another. Most of the time, they're adding it as in a barrier, like a fabric, and the fabric is going around the foam, so it's trying to protect the foam from.
So, I hear you talking about this, and like I know a little bit about it from getting to know you and being more involved with Naturepedic, but so every other commercial you see for beds are memory foam mattresses. So is it just because it's so cheap to make and people buy into the whole marketing of it that it's contouring this and that and it's healthier for you?
Yeah, it's the bottom line. What you said is it's so cheap. So it's like I just said, it's 20 gallons of petroleum, that they processed with a bunch of chemicals. So how much does 20 gallons of petroleum cost? It's not that expensive. So they can that's why you can go into a store or online, whatever, and you can buy a mattress for a couple $100s, and then they can make the fancy ones and charge you a lot more, of course. But fundamentally, if it's a petroleum mattress, which most mattresses are, it's going to be relatively inexpensive. Yeah, and there's an irony there, because open the door to your house and just look inside. You're going to spend all the money you can afford for the most beautiful dining room set. And you might want a chandelier and so on. But where do you spend most of your time? From the moment you walk in the door to your house to the moment you walk out, where have you spent most of that time? Where? On this cheap junk mattress.
What about the CertiPure certified foam? That's also a crock, right?
Yeah, I don't want to use that exact word because they're going to
Okay,
sue
I
me.
said it, not you.
I don't want. I'm not looking to get sued, so I'll say it in a more polite manner.
Right.
Okay, so the CertiPure certification is made by the polyurethane foam industry. In other words, they're making their own rules for their own product and certifying their own product. It's not like an independent certifier or certification program that says, all right, we're going to accomplish A, B, C, D, E, and this is our certificate. And whichever manufacturer wants to be certified, as long as they follow our protocol, they can get certified. CertiPure doesn't work that way. At least not.
So in other words, it's like they own the company and they just said, okay, let's make a certification so it looks great.
For our own products, yes. So
and who regulates that? Does anyone regulate
nobody
that?
regulates it. We live in a free country. You can do whatever you want. Okay?
That's crazy. Yeah.
But that's the reality. So the certification itself, first of all, it only applies to the polyurethane foam. They don't certify an entire mattress. When you see a CertiPure, it's only for the polyurethane foam. Okay.
Right. But then again, the average consumer doesn't understand that.
Exactly.
Right.
So some of the elements of the CertiPure certification are things that they all do anyways. It's not accomplishing it. It's not a higher standard. It's whatever the industry.
It's greenwashing.
It's greenwashing.
Okay.
Other things, okay. So they make some rules that if you want to get CertiPure certified, you have to follow these rules, and some of those are fine, okay. But it only goes so far. And there's many other things that they don't address because they don't want to address it because they might ban something, but they allow themselves something else. So they're just it's
opening a can of worms.
Yeah.
So then having said all of that, what do you look for in a healthy, safe mattress?
So toxicity is the main issue, certainly from our perspective. And that's what we're all about. And let's get rid of all the questionable chemicals, all the questionable materials. So, for example, we don't use polyurethane foam, period. No issue there. We don't use flame retardant chemicals at all. We even go beyond the organic standard that allows for some certain flame retardants. We don't use anything. We don't use any formaldehyde. We don't use any pesticides.
I mean, I'm hearing you say all these things, and I just cannot believe that these things are legally allowed inside a mattress. It's like we haven't evolved,
You're totally correct, Deborah. We live in a free society, which is good, but it's also has its negatives. All right. So there's nobody watching you if you want to make a mattress or you want to make whatever. There's nobody watching you. You can put in it whatever. And if it's coming from China, trust me, they're to save a nickel, they'll do whatever. They don't care. We don't use GMOs. We don't use any glue. There's no glue in our, we had an inspection from the Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC. They inspect every mattress factory in the country at one point or another. They just walk in one day, and so they did an inspection, and they took samples, and they looked at our paperwork. Everything was fine. But the nicest part of the inspection was when one of the inspectors stopped, and I'm sort of quoting him. He said, this is the first mattress factory I've ever been in, and I cannot smell any chemicals. And I smiled. I said, now you know where you are.
Right. So you look for things that are non-toxic. So when you go to a store and you look for a mattress, or you go online, for example, what are the things you're going to look for? You're not going to look for foam.
You're not going to look
for memory foam.
For polyurethane. You're not going to look for polyurethane foam or memory foam. Okay. You can get latex, but even latex, there's a lot of games there, because most latex on the market is not latex. It's not coming from a rubber tree. Real latex, until World War II, all the latex was coming from rubber trees. It's sap from a rubber tree, just like maple syrup comes out of a tree, and you can turn it into maple syrup. So there's rubber sap that comes out of a rubber tree, and you can turn that into latex. Today, and it's been like this for a long time now, most latex is really petroleum, and they just make it look like latex, but it's not real latex. So if you want latex, it's got to be real latex. And if it's got to be real latex, it's got to be certified either by GOLS, GOLS, Global Organic Latex Standard, or FSC, okay, which is a Rainforest Alliance affiliated certification. Those two certifications give you real latex. If they tell you this is natural latex, suggesting that it's all coming from a rubber tree, maybe it is, but if there's no certification, maybe it's not, or maybe it's a combination.
I'm always talking about certifications, that they're so important, especially like the GOTS, Global Organic Textile Certification, and GOLS, which is what you're just mentioning, the Global Organic Latex Certification. Because anyone, like you say, it's a free country. Anyone can put anything in any kind of label in front of their product.
Right.
But the certifications say a lot. So you would look for something that has that certification.
Yeah, the GOLS or the Forest Stewardship Council, FSC. Right. Those are the two good ones. Those are the two real certifications that tell you this is really coming from a rubber tree. It's not filled with all these questionable chemicals.
And if it's not filled with latex, it can be filled with cotton or
organic cotton. So of course, cotton can be organic or can be regular cotton. Regular cotton, is not as good. If you asked me, is regular cotton better than polyurethane foam? I would say yes, even though regular cotton is made with chemicals. So if you want to grade it, there are, different gradations. But we don't use regular cotton. We only use certified organic cotton, and that's certified. Well, the original cotton is certified by the USDA, National Organic Program, but then it goes into GOTS when it gets processed, and GOTS certifies the final product.
So is there one that's better than another? Like if you have an organic latex mattress or an organic cotton mattress, what's the difference between that? And they're both certified. Is it just the feel?
Yeah, they're both fine. And most of the organic mattresses actually are hybrid. It's organic cotton and organic latex and coils. And with coils, just as a side point, we try to get the steel. We make our own coils. We don't buy coils. We make our own. But we get the steel without lead or, other toxic chemicals that sometimes gets added.
Is that legal to use steel coiling that contains lead and those toxic chemicals as well?
Oh, it's legal, but in an organic mattress, you try to eliminate it all as much as possible.
It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening to know what goes into it. And as far as like firmness, Even our clients are always asking, what kind of mattress should I get? And I really never know what to answer. I mean, because I always say medium because I feel like you can't go wrong with that. But do you have any
Okay.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, of course. So there is, we have to separate the issues. So one issue is toxicity. So get rid of all the toxic chemicals and the questionable materials. Okay. But then we go to uh, the breathability. Make sure you don't get hot and sweaty. That would be the next issue. Then the third issue is the firmness. Okay, which is its own issue. Most mattresses, this is across the board, just mainstream mattresses and also organic mattresses. Most mattresses, you have one firmness. You take it or leave it. Hop on the bed and try it. You like it, great. If you don't like it, that mattress is not for you. We have a different approach when it comes to firmness. We offer many different firmness options. So we put for most of our adult mattresses, we put a zipper around the side so you can unzip and flip up the top, and you can see what's inside. All right, and it's all modular. So for our latex, you can choose soft, medium, or firm. For the coils, you can choose softer or firmer. All right. So that gives you 6 different choices right there. And
Yeah.
for our other models, you have even more choices. So if you want to sleep on Jello, that's fine. We'll give you Jello. You want to sleep on concrete, like some people do? That's
Is there
fine.
is there one type of heaviness or firmness that's healthier?
A lot of people go in different directions on that. We tend not to push that thinking too hard because what's comfortable for you. You know what makes you feel good. If something is not making you feel good, I don't see why we should push that on you because you think it might, unless a doctor tells you that you need to
Yeah.
sleep on something firm, fine, or if you have arthritis and the doctor tells you, why don't you just sleep on something more comfortable? That's fine. We have no problem with those things. But at the end of the day, for most people, it's just a personal preference. And with our mattresses, you can choose the firmness, and that's just as important as toxicity or anything else. You got to be comfortable.
Right, right.
You're on that mattress 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
So the last question I want to ask you is about crib mattresses because Barry has a whole module in our non-toxic and cruelty-free nursery design course, and we talk about crib mattresses. And what to me the most shocking fact that I can't stop thinking about is how it's legal to sell latex crib mattresses, knowing that you don't know whether or not a baby could be allergic to latex and they can get extremely sick or, God forbid, die. So if you could just fill us in what to look for in a crib mattress and what to avoid, that'd be great.
So we go beyond even the organic certification program or the others. We don't put latex in any baby or children's products at all. We use organic cotton. That's our main fill material. But basically, we're looking at things that are not going to be allergic. So we have organic cotton. We have food grade polyethylene. We have steel in some of our products. But these are all healthier materials that are not allergenic and not toxic.
Right, and there was one point also that I learned from you about the waterproof. I mean, it's been many years since I bought a crib mattress. My kids are all adults now, but about waterproof mattresses, that you have to make sure that there's some sort of waterproof cover because all the moisture will go through the mattress and a baby is breathing in that potential mold and toxins, correct?
Right. So the problem is a crib mattress has to be waterproof. In our great-great-parents' days, when the straw got messed up, you took the straw away and you gave the baby new straw. But we don't live in that world. We're giving you a mattress. That mattress has to stay clean, hygienic for years. There is no way to keep a mattress hygienic for years when you have a baby on there. You got urine, you got bigger messes, you got drool, you got vomit, you got spilled milk, whatever. Okay, there is no way to keep that hygienic unless you waterproof. But the problem with the waterproofing is most people are using vinyl, which is basically toxic, and they're using PFAS, which is basically toxic, and so on. So we developed a different way of a different approach. We're using food grade polyethylene made from sugarcane, non-GMO. We don't use any GMOs. Made from non-GMO sugarcane, and that's GOTS loves it. It's a great way to go.
Right. Barry, thank you so much.
Sure.
As always, you always teach us so much about mattresses. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you, Deborah.
See you later.
Okay.